Welcome back, everyone, and I hope you're all doing well. It's Friday here in Australia, so we're preparing for the weekend. It's always nice to get to Friday, especially after we've had very busy weeks. So today we're going to look at words or things that destroy the narcissist. Now, of course, we don't want to destroy the narcissist because we don't want to get caught up with that type of karma. But there are certain things that do occur that actually can cause the narcissist to have narcissistic rage, narcissistic collapse, or you can actually start to also psychologically mess with them. So the biggest thing that starts to happen in these type of relationships with narcissists is that you obviously in the beginning you've placed them on a pedestal. They've also placed you on a pedestal, and one of the reasons that they place you on a pedestal is because of your devotion to them, because you love them, and of course you're returning your feelings because of the way that they've love bombed you in the beginning, how they're making you feel. So what then starts to occur is that because we're also mixing with their energy, and then we may also, especially if you have a narcissist that is anxious or depressed, or who has a lot of passive aggressiveness, that also then starts to feed into your energy. And before you know it, without realizing it, you've also turned negative. You may also become annoyed with them quickly. You can also start to then hold your own anger inside because you can tell how fake they are, and also they've done things to hurt you. So a few statements or phrases that can really rattle a narcissist is, let's see, the first one that really will cause a lot of anger, fear is, I see who you are. I see you, I know who you are, you don't fool me anymore. Now, the first thing, of course, that starts to occur is that they go into fear because of their reputation. Remember, reputation is extremely important to them. Image control. So all of a sudden, you've startled them and things start spinning, and they don't know quite what you do know, right? Because their behavior towards you, even that angry, negative behavior and what they've done to you, in their mind is justified because somehow you've slighted them, somehow you've made them angry. Now, if you do say to the narcissist, I know who you are, right? I see you and I know who you are. You really need to just exit and stay that way, because after you've said something like that to them, rarely ever will they ever forget that. And even if you still stay in their company, they will continue to get you back. Saying to the narcissist goodbye, that they also don't like that. How dare you say the goodbye first? That's their job to say goodbye. Also saying to them, you know, you really are a failure, you haven't achieved much, that also gets to them. Or using phrases like, you have been a complete waste of time in my life, they don't like. Using the word disappointment, you are a disappointment. My time with you has been disappointing. They also don't like that. So there are certain things that you say, and everything that you're saying to them, you are no longer putting them on that pedestal. You're no longer catering to their whims. You're no longer being this wonderful healer, this listener. You're no longer interested in them because you actually do see that they are not who you thought they were. And in particular, when they show you how cruel they are. You see, what starts to happen is that we see them in the capacity of how we've entered into the relationship. So we actually believe that as much as we want this relationship because of the emotion and our connection, our commitment to making it work, that's not how they perceive this. And usually it's because they have not worked for it. If they work for it, they work for it minimally, and usually it's in the beginning. And then after that, as we know, it's games on, and it's mind games on. So they don't value the relationship the way that you value the relationship. And in particular, if you're someone who is not going to let them off the hook, in particular, if you're someone who is going to call out irresponsibility and actually discuss accountability, then they're not going to see it that way either. I've had so many people say to me, Marina, can you tell me if they're a narcissist? Can you tell me if they're a narcissist? First of all, if you're asking, are they a narcissist, then what we need to really say to ourselves is something is very wrong. Something's wrong. And so if something's wrong, then we have to fix it, in particular in relationships. But it takes two people to want to fix a relationship. So if you continually go to the narcissist and keep talking about things that need to improve in the relationship, and if they're continually not wanting to, then, possibly there's your answer, whether they are or they're not. Is this person right for me in this capacity? Now, you may have entered into it, right, with the reasons, they future faked you. And okay, you may now be wanting this long-term relationship, but if they're not willing to give that to you, then you need to start to question things. And also, we don't just go around having problems with people for no reason. If there are issues there, then something's not right, whether it's the communication style, whether the person has no empathy, whether the person doesn't care, whether the person's not capable of giving, the relationship what is required, because they're a narcissist. They lack empathy. Many lack conscience as well. We focus a lot on a person being the one who is going to make us feel a certain way. But really what we need to focus on is the feeling of love. And then that way we will leave anything that doesn't give us that feeling of love. We will let it go, because we know that we're after love. We're after the package. Now, love, of course, is a state of being. And it's not just one thing that creates this state of being. It's commitment, responsibility. Yes, the chemistry's there. But it's not just the sexual or the physical stuff. That's never going to do it. So there's lots of different things that make up this thing called love. Listening, how you attend to problems. All of these things are what make us love. And then that's commitment. So the relationship's going to be the most important thing that we ever commit to, with our intimate partners. And if you're forever having to put fires out, if you're forever having to stay at home, if you're starting to feel more lonely in the relationship, then that's your answer. And if you keep trying to make it work and things aren't happening, and that circular conversation keeps happening, then that's what really needs to be examined here. You see, it's so simple to make things work. So simple. You sit down, you talk about it, hear each other's points of view, decide what you're willing to let go, negotiate, willing to meet you halfway, and then away we go. We start building connection. Couples who are really committed to each other make things work. They make it work. And there are people who, yes, of course, we're all human, and, sometimes there's even things that occur with affairs or, with things not being so straightforward. But I've seen those work as well, because the person who has not acted accordingly in the relationship takes time to reflect. They take time to do their personal work, and they are forever so remorseful as to how they hurt another person. But with a narcissist, they hold the grudge, as I've discussed quite a few times. They are resentful, and then they're jealous of you. Now, they may actually, be committed to you,